Are we losing opportunity for adventure in modern society? Is this why you find a lot of men seeking out experiences through their craft or through history to experience and see what it was like to live 100 years ago? Antique equipment, hand tools, logging, exploration. Things that were commonplace, things that built the world we live in today, but have fallen by the wayside. I don't feel that a lot of people have opportunity to get that feeling from their profession now. Some do, some don't. I don't know. But this was all spurred by a conversation I had with another fella just recently, and we were talking about just that. Why is there such a draw to how things were versus how things are now? I'm not too sure I have the answer, but what I will do is share a story that hopefully puts across the point I'm trying to make. Frank White, the trucker's story. The goddamn brakes on those things weren't meant to be taken seriously. You did have the emergency brakes, great big squeeze-handled emergency brake on the side of the cab. That was the true measure of the truck, the emergency brake. The bigger the truck, the bigger the handle. Some came right up to your chin. Those old emergency brakes would work all right, but one good stop was all they had in them, and you better have damn well saved it for an emergency. The steering wheels were great, big wooden things about 3 feet across and flat. They had to be, because they had about as much reduction in linkage as a bicycle. You were hanging on for all you were worth all day long. That was the main battle, to keep the front wheels going where you wanted to go and not where they wanted to go. You studied the road a long way ahead. Under normal conditions, you had the edge and brute force, but a rock or a rut could tie you right in a knot. The spokes would blur just like an airplane propeller, and if anything was in the way, you could write it off for about 3 months. Come up to a gully that was not easily filled, and they built timber trestles. Now let me tell you, coming down a plank road in one of them old hard-wheeled bastards, sitting in an open board seat, a couple 1,000 feet of logs jiggling around you behind your head, no bulkhead for protection. Just that steering wheel and that bull's hind leg in your hand, the mechanical brakes, you were earning your $2.80 a day. Trestles rattling and jumping around, mud squeezing up between the planks. With mud or a touch of frost, you could no more hold on to that thing on the track than you could hold a greasy pig with one hand. You'd be looking through the floorboards, going over a trestle, and seeing straight down through 70 feet of clear open space. Boards broke and Jill poked all the time. I'm not saying that what I've described here is this man driving a hard rubber-tired logging truck, the first of its kind, back in the early 1900s, was his chosen profession, that his mom and dad encouraged him to become a logging truck driver. He probably came to it through chance, setting out to make a living for himself or for his family. But I guarantee you that at the end of a day of doing what he was doing, as described in that story, he did not wander home with a sense of lack of accomplishment. There was adventure involved. And I'm not saying for everybody, I'm just speculating here, but the conditions were harsh, but I think that a lot of this hands-on stuff gave more of a sense of fulfillment. And that's why now a lot of guys seek it out to experience it in whatever way they can. I think that's why I do it. I hear about how my grandparents and their parents before them built up, and they farmed, they logged, they built a world for their family to live in and for others to live in. And it provided a feeling that's much different than what I see in the world now. That's my speculation. And I just like to read a story to the camera once in a while. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, we'll catch you on the next adventure.